Hey, it's Clay, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol IPIX. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually just today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to this time frame that does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price, and then does a good job in mapping out the interesting chart setup that has taken place here. So, not to rub salt in anyone's wounds or anything like that, but just to set up how the chart is, taking shape. There was, the gap down, and then the price continued on down and, got beat up quite a bit. Now, this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have traded for a longer time, but if you have traded long enough, I'm sure you've seen one where a stock gaps down, and then after the gap down, it just continues to drift downwards the remainder of the day. I mean, it's just essentially a slow bleed. However, in this situation, that did not happen. Sure, it gapped down, and sure, it got beat up out of the gates, but after that, the price just simply went sideways. And, just essentially absorb the remaining of the selling pressure. And you combine that with the fact down here that volume dropped off quite a bit. And you could, very logically argue that, and look, there was barely any selling because look how much volume dropped off. And that is, like I said, totally valid. With all that being said, though, and I really wish I could say trading was this easy, just because the price gapped down and then after the gap down started to go sideways does not mean that this is guaranteed to be the bottom and that this thing is for sure bouncing up to 45 cents by Friday. Like I said, I wish I could say trading was this easy, but myself nor anyone else can say that would for sure happen because for sure's are the same as guarantees. And if you're not aware, guarantees just don't exist in the market. Now, would it be shocking to see some sort of bounce? No, that would not be shocking at all. But, there's a big difference between something being logically, could happen versus for sure going to happen. So logically, yeah, it very well could bounce, and it makes sense to at least question it. As in, example being when the price was falling. At no point to say, I wonder if the price is going to bounce. Why would you think that when all it was doing was falling? But now, at least with the sideways price action, that whole question becomes logical. So in the event it does start to bounce, where are some of these key levels of resistance that it'll have to fight through? Really, in the short term, there seems to be a little bit miniature resistance right here at the 35 cent mark. So 35 cents, that initial area of resistance, if the price can push up through there, the next overall level is going to be that pink line right there, which is the famous 200 period simple moving average. So keep an eye on those two levels from a support standpoint. As far as supports are concerned, the bulls were able to establish this little miniature uptrend line here. So let's see if the price can hold above that or not. But yeah, definitely an interesting setup. Let's see if the price can get a bounce or not. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.